There is a particular kind of genius that does not invent the future, but holds up a mirror so clear, so precisely angled, that it reflects not just our present, but the unsettling contours of the path ahead. Arthur Miller, quintessential American dramatist, born in 1915, gone in 2005, possessed this exact form of vision. He wrote The Crucible in 1953, not as a prophet, but as a witness. He surveyed a landscape pockmarked by suspicion and ideological warfare, and saw the ghostly outline of an older American story. The play appears a meticulous reconstruction of 1692 Salem, yet its true power is that it was always about his now, and, by alchemy, our now. To understand the allegory, grasp the terror of the event itself. Salem Village in 1692 lived on the edge, literally and spiritually. A small, isolated Puritan settlement on a vast frontier. Survival was a daily trial. A rigid theology framed life as a war between God and Satan. Misfortune was not random. It was a sign, a test, a punishment. A crop failed, a child ailed, a calf was stillborn, evidence of the devil. An ever-present threat just beyond the firelight. It began with forbidden dancing and adolescent secrecy. To deflect punishment, they named names and claimed bewitchment. The first targets were those already distrusted, easy sacrifices to fear. Spectral evidence turned private nightmares into legal fact. By the end, 19 hanged, some died in prison, Giles Corey pressed. Salem devoured itself. Fast forward 2.5 centuries. The devil replaced by another specter, communism. The Cold War seeped into every corner of American life. Fear of an external enemy morphed into panic about an internal one. Senator McCarthy claimed lists of subversives, numbers shifting, impact seismic. HUAC weaponized insinuation and public accusation. Citizens were summoned to testify, and to name others, guilty until proven innocent, with vague charges and secret evidence. Refusal to cooperate looked like confession. Careers destroyed, a chill over creative and intellectual life. Miller refused to name names, was convicted for contempt, later overturned. The Crucible became an urgent dispatch from the cultural front, personal, visceral, and profoundly unjust. Miller chose Salem as Allegory, a masterstroke of drama and strategy. A direct topical indictment would be dismissed, and age quickly. Historical distance lifted the story onto a mythic stage. It stripped conflict to elemental terms, not party versus party, but conscience versus corrupt authority, reason versus hysteria, truth versus institutionalized falsehood, small transgression, fear-led accusations, pressure to confess and name others, inversion of justice, a flawed but moral center. Both asked, are you now, or have you ever been? Thus, the allegory transcends McCarthyism, usable whenever panic grips a society, a universal template for moral panic and collapsing guardrails. By choosing Salem, Miller ensured the warning would not expire. The Crucible maps a human algorithm of collapse. At its core lies fear, contagious, warping, dissolving reason, supernatural fear of the devil, social fear of accusation, fear of defying power. In panic, the improbable becomes persuasive. Power finds opportunity. Danforth and Hathorne cannot admit error. Private gain exploits public hysteria. Salem inverts morality. Lies rewarded, truth punished. To live, confess a lie. To keep integrity, accept death. Small lies metastasize into a world the town must inhabit. The innocent suffer. Broken lives, reputations, orphaned children. The process destroys community. It poisons the well for all. That is the harsh arithmetic of hysteria. If written today, the setting might not be a courtroom. It would be the internet. Public shaming, rapid-fire accusation, communal hysteria. Reborn online. The square is now global, without rules of evidence or a moderator. A whisper that once walked now outruns truth. Cancel culture and mob justice mirror Salem logic. Past comments unearthed, stripped of context, amplified. Accusation becomes proof by sheer volume. Our systems structurally favor hysteria over reason. Institutions capitulate to pressure to protect brands. Abigail's role is recast by anonymity, partisans, and engagement-hungry algorithms. Fractured into curated delusions, we more easily dehumanize and cast out the new witches. Amid the chaos stands John Proctor, flawed, stubborn, ultimately heroic. His guilt over an affair paralyzes him, then hardens into resolve. He rises from narrow survival to a defense of truth. He confesses in open court to expose a lie.
I have known her, sir. I have known her.
He destroys his good name to halt the madness. Tempted to sign and live, he thinks, one more lie. But lending his name to a lie will damn others.
Because it is my name. Because I cannot have another in my life. How may I live without my name? I have given you my soul. Leave me my name.
He chooses death, conscience defying mob and state, an austere model of courage. Miller wrote a warning, lessons we forget and relearn painfully. Due process is fragile, a delicate ecosystem easily poisoned by fear. Presumption of innocence, confronting accusers, verifiable evidence, are firewalls. When accusation equals conviction, justice erodes. Pressuring institutions to act before facts chips at the foundation. Conformity seduces. Courage to dissent is quiet and rare. Resist mob certainty. Slow down. Ask, what is the evidence? Who is the source? Protect open discourse, especially speech we dislike. Distinguish challenging ideas from destroying people. Practice everyday courage. Humanize those we oppose. Tend truth. Cultivate empathy. Uproot baseless accusations. Protect justice. The crucible of our time is always burning. Decide what to cast into the fire and what to defend at all costs. If this helped, please like and subscribe.